We like this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn her up and these niggas so 666. We love this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn her up and these niggas so 666. We love this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn her up and these niggas so 666. We love this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn her up and these niggas so 666. We love this shit. shit. See. We get jacked so quick. With a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit. See. We get jacked so quick. With a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit. See. Jack beat, then we get jacked so quick. Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit. See. Beat, then we get jacked so quick. Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit. See. Beat, then we get jacked so quick. Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit. See. Beat, then we get jacked so quick. Jack with a gentleman ass on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit. See.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Contest of Speed AM Tier 1. We are here for round 9 at the Hungaroring. I am BK, joined tonight with Chubb Tucker in the booth. How we doing, Chubb?
Doing good. How about you?
Oh, just swell. And I just happened to notice it's a looking little gloomy out on the track right now. We're venturing over to Hungary, as mentioned before, and it's a track known for sometimes having mixed weather. And while it is not raining at the moment, could we potentially be in for some rain at the end? Time will tell, but like I said, we're here for AM1, the premier tier in cost ton of speed AM side, and Chubb, you'll know a little bit better what to expect here. You're here on a weekly basis enjoying this action. We've also got a couple more drivers in the mix. Any early expectations as we jump into qualifying?
Well, we've got a championship fight here between Kai, well, it's Formula Kai in the Red Bull, and then also Red Devil in the Mercedes. But Red Devil also has a pretty fast teammate there with Pucks F1, and then G Boone is not a consistent member in the lobby, mainly because of school. But G Boone also in the McLaren is pretty fast, and we're joined back with a previous winner. I mean, multiple time winner actually in Vamu, and he is in the Alpine tonight. So seems like we're gonna have a pretty good catfight on our hands here at Hungary.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gonna be a hopefully a pretty good fight, like you mentioned. A couple of drivers returning. We've got Vamu coming back to the grid, like, couple time champion in AM1. There was a point in me being in COS where I thought that there would never be a new AM1 champion besides Vamu, but here we are. G Boone won last season. As mentioned, he is back on the grid. Returned last week, back again tonight. No, he doesn't have too much practice, doesn't have too much time, but he's still just getting out on track. So we'll see if he can insert himself into that top mix, that top fight. But certainly, I would hope that Vamu and another one, QRL Remen, coming back on the grid. Hopefully, those two can join that fight with Formula Kai and Red Devil tonight. We can see some spicy action. But we have SSR William, the first one on track here, set a lap. He is coming around the final corner now, turn 14. Pretty short track here, pretty short lap time. We do have a cost bets prediction up if you are interested in getting channel points, but SSR Williams crosses the line 114.792. Very strong start to his qualifying.
Yes, and we've also got Pucks F1 now just starting his lap. Like I said, Pucks shown a lot of pace all year long. Although I have to say, really, Saudi Arabia is like, we might as well just name that Pucks' track, because I mean he flies there. But he's shown great pace at pretty much every other track. But for the majority of this season, it has been a Kai versus Devil type of night. But like I said, with Vamu coming back and G Boone being here this week, I think we're in for a nice fight. And Pucks goes across the line, takes provisional pole, 114.444. Wow.
Team 444. If Remen would be the next one across the line. He's unfortunately invalidated his lap. He's going to have to reset, go again. Looks like he is pushing on, has enough fuel to try again. Let's jump on board with Aston Martin and see what is first sector here. Have a couple more cars potentially crossing the line. E. Boone, I think, is one of them. Potty also on a flyer. One of the McLarens next across the line. It is Potty. What is he going to do? Jumps up to P2 just ahead of SSR Williams. 114.7.
And G Boone did set a purple sector 1 there, so see how he finishes out. And he's around,
Oh, G Boone's
unfortunately.
around. Just
Man,
cut
wow.
away. We're jumping on with Some Good Salt, who went up into P4. Pretty good start for him. And Krypton P6. Another Haas crossing the line. That is the reserve driver, Hood Kool-Aid Man. Up in a P5, just behind his reserve teammate. Both those guys raced last night. Salt did not finish on the podium, unfortunately, due to his unfortunate strategy just not playing out with the safety car timing. But did get a decent amount of points. Chubb.
Oh, and G Boone, wow. He crashes coming in the first DRS straight there. Lost his wing.
He is beached. D-Boone, you can
Yeah, he
reset
is
your car
beached.
if you're beached. Reset it. Reset the car, you're going to get disqualified. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, wow.
You're allowed to
Yeah.
do that if you get beached. The only time Formula Guy, while we were watching D-Boone out for a little bit of a stroll there, jumps the fastest, and I think Devil is going to be the next cross the line. Let's see what he can go. And he just gets in front of a 14.004 and a 14.081 for Formula Kai. Like you said, Formula Kai and Red Devil show back again tonight, it seems. But a couple of drivers not too far behind with their first bankers. Puck's doing pretty well there. Garland just getting warmed up into the grid in the Aston Martin. Kind of weird to see him in an Aston Martin. I'm so used to seeing him in the Alpine after the season I raced with him in AM1, but just glad to see him back on the grid for a couple more races left in the season. And good to see now up to 14 drivers on the grid.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I've seen that across the board for pretty much every league that they're struggling a little bit with attendance, and just as a whole, the F1 game is down. Actually, Steam sales are just somewhere around 6,000 for this game, so you know that's very low compared to where it was on a high in 2018 of around 1.2 million. So you know, hopefully Codemasters can get that fixed and you know, get this game back. But I will say I've enjoyed playing F1 24 even more so than 23. It's a load of fun.
Yeah, been a decent game for sure. Yeah, it's been different for me just learning no assist. It's been honestly a little bit easier than what I would have expected on previous games. I couldn't imagine trying to drive with no line in other ones, but yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and the lots of improvements with this game overall. But gonna see Vamu now
Yeah.
winding up for his first flying lap. It appears back on the grid in contest speed. The former AM1 champion. I believe he had to take a step away for school reasons, and also he had some technical issues. Now he's back for a couple of races to finish off season 14. Let's see what he can do. His first flying lap. Rob Star's just popping in the chat. What's up, sir? He's scheduled to be covering for Electric Entree until I let him know that he could take the night off. So still enjoying this stream. Didn't go to sleep. Good to see that.
Yeah, and Robstar coming to us from across the pond, so you know it's a little late for him, but
Vamu sets a
glad that
purple
he's staying up with
sector
us.
1. Flying through now into the chicane we go. This is a pretty tricky part of the track. See how much curb he takes. Nice and clear of it this time. Sure how hard he's pushing here. He's staying well clear of those curves. DRS is off. Now it's back on, maybe just regenerating for a second. By to the last mini straight out of turn 11 into turn 12 now.
Yeah.
2
Ooh.
turns to go. Zanky's in the chat saying
Oh wow.
Rob is his favorite 30-year-old man. It's just classic, Zanky. That's just classic. Babu comes across the line. It's gonna be a 1:15.8 P12 to start. Some room to improve there, but he is in the mix.
Yeah, and I think he will definitely improve on that. I mean, he had numerous little moments there across that lap, so don't let that fool you at home. He will be up there.
Had a couple mistakes you could see from the camera. Check in with Potty here. He starts his lap. He is sitting P6. Have a Kick Sauber starting their lap as well. Maybe SSR will. Just started their lap.
And Potty, another one who has shown great signs of pace this year, actually was leading in Australia until he got a little loose coming out of the last turn there right before the straight, and unfortunately his race ended at that point. But Potty, if he can keep it clean, I'm telling you, I've been calling it all year. He can get up on that podium.
He can do it. Chatting with a couple of these drivers before, and none of them were exuding any particular confidence going into this track. But that is kind of just how it is around here. It's a really tricky track. It's hard to overtake, really narrow. Really only one legitimate chance to overtake, and that's with the help of DRS. If you're in the train, it's so hard to break free and make any inroads. The only real chance is in the main straight. Audie's just finishing his lap here. What do you think it's going to be? He comes across the line.
I think he's gonna be close to a 114 there.
114.472. Pretty solid there. He's in the mix with Pucks, but a Mercedes coming across the line. I believe that would be Pucks just about to start his lap. SSR William is next. It's
and you got Kai and QRL Remen that are on a lap in front of them as well. So
there we go. Let's jump on board with Kai. He's just at a purple sector 1. He's improving. Gonna be taking us into the 13s. It looks, if that's any indication, using all the track there. Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
You can tell he's got that car on rails too.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. Wow.
He is locked in, using the outside curb even into turn 11, braking into turn 12. He's 2 tenths up through 2 sectors. A couple more turns to navigate. Sector 3 is really short around here. Only really 3 turns involved. But only a 14-turn track. That will certainly happen. Formula Kai getting the power down, sliding around the last corner.
Ooh. Oh yeah, there. Wow.
1:13.688, and he smashes that pole prediction time. What a lap. Will Red Devil be able to respond here? It's going to be his teammate coming across the line first. Steven has retired from the session, just not having the best qualifying. 1:14, 1:29 for Pucks. That's really solid. Red Devil now just a couple more corners. He's up just under 2 tenths through 2 sectors. Got a little bit to gain here to challenge Formula Kai for that provisional pole.
He throws it out wide. Ooh, close, but 113.794. He's down about a tenth. But he will have another attempt though. So
exactly, yeah. 10 split in the top two. He'll have more than enough time to go for another run. Check on with Stubley here going through the chicane. Don't think he's pushing. Just getting ready for his lap.
And before Devil crossed the line there, Rimmon actually came up to third there, knocking Pucks down. And then some good salts and Potty switching around a little bit there. So and you know, Silkweaver and SSR William both have shown great signs of pace this year as well. Really, you can't miss with this grid. I mean, it has been a two-headed race most of the year between Kai and Devil. But right behind that, though, you've got a powerhouse group that is just fighting for third right there.
Exactly. It's a pretty tight grid, and hopefully just having a couple more drivers that are able to keep up or keep closer to Red Devil from the Kai, bring those other drivers into play a little bit more often. QRM is sitting in between Fox and Red Devil at the moment. The moves out on track. I think he's on a flying lap, 3 tenths up. Oh, and he goes across the track limits there right when we cut to him. And gonna be an invalid lap. You'll have to go again. He was almost a full second up until that point, so sitting around the 14.8 mark.
Yeah, that's impressive. That with still, you know, there's a whole third sector to go at that point, but he's gonna duck into the pits.
3.5 minutes to go. SSR William also has invalidated his lap, but he's on an out lap, so sure he's going to be staying out there, winding up and going again.
Yeah, and you're right about Hungary. It is a very tricky track. One that you really have to kind of hit your spots and your braking points. You can't get back on the throttle too quick coming out of the corners. You will lose it, as we've seen with numerous drivers coming in sector 3 there. But also, yeah, overtaking is a nightmare here. You can maybe do it on that second DRS straight in sector 1, but outside of that, like, you're gonna find it's gonna be a really hard time trying to overtake anywhere else.
See drivers now just coming out of the pits. Their final runs. SSR William is on a flying lap right now. Time is winding down. Got a Red Bull on the pole position with Red Devil just behind those two championship contenders. Mercedes, oddly enough, with Formula Kai not having a teammate, are leading the Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, that just goes to show you how much, like, just winning races, like how many points you can get from that alone.
Exactly. Just drivers working as a teammate. Oh, I think SSR Williams just set the same lap time that he had because it was neither above or below. Good Kool-Aid man validated his lap. I think he is just taking it easy though, trying to recharge for the next one now. Drivers coming out. I think Remen was the first one that came out. He is about to start his flying lap. Got Audi after him. We'll stay on board with for now. Bremen with his final attempt. 1 minute 26 left in qualifying. If he does make a mistake early, he has enough time to reset. He's a lot of ERS early on, so that tells me he is pushing on now. The Aston Martin making his return to the grid tonight in round 9, slinging it around in turn 5 up the hill. Or sorry, turn 4. This is turn 5. Always mix those two up into turn 6 and 7 now. Really tricky. Doesn't use the curves. It's really easy to bobble over them and lose a ton of lap time there. Not worth the risk. Where drivers have been invalidating. He keeps it nice and tidy. Up to turn 11 now. Long straight we go. Not the long straight, but
Oh,
one of the
wow.
longer straights in the track.
And he is down 3/10, so he's gonna be pushing Devil right now. Might get up to Kai.
Is chasing them on. There's some traffic in the final corner. Jump on board with the driver as he powers it on. Across the line we go.
Oh, wow.
Loses a little bit of time.
113.919.
Proves his lap time, but not his position. Jump on board now with the McLaren driver potty. He's up 2/10 to purple sector 2 there. It looked like going to have any sort of challenge for the top 5. Looks like he will for some good salt. And maybe Pucks. The 114.285, just a little bit shy of Pucks in that case. Have us next up. Not some good salt. That's Hood Kool-Aid Man. He stays 10th. Stay on board with Stubbly now. We have SSR William, I think, is the next one. No, it's gonna be J Supreme putting the beam. He stays 13th. Stubbly next, staying at 8th place. And we've got Mercedes next of Pucks. Oh, looks like Red Devil has invalidated, so he is not going to be able to improve his challenge for pole. Pucks is jumping into the pits. He is out of qualifying now as well. Going to be up to SSR William. No, he is invalid as well. Vamu.
Yeah.
No, he's invalid as well.
No, they are.
Silk Weaver's in the pits.
I think just a group of them all kind of bunched up together there, and I believe I saw a Haas, maybe Hood Kool-Aid Man, that came off the track and seemed to just make everybody bunch up, and they basically just pulled off. So that's what happens in racing. It's kind of like we've seen in recent times with a caution flag coming out on that last run. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
That looks like a few drivers were compromised in the end there. Body weaving across the line, but it's going to be Formula Kai on pole position here in Hungary. So he hopefully starts his championship run on round 9 with a little bit of an advantage here. Not hopefully, he does with a 1/10 gap in qualifying. Red Devil is P2, just narrowly behind him, and QR Remen returning to the grid in P3, Pucks P4, Potty P5, some good salt, the reserve in P6, Silkweaver P7, W in P8, SSR William P9, and Hood Kool in P10. That is your top 10 for qualifying tonight. What are your thoughts of quickly before we jump over to the
Well, I think you've got a great grid that's already set up there. Nice to have Remen back. Also, you've got Vamu that's down there in 12th, and G-Boon, who retired from the session early there in 14th. You know that they will be working up through the field, which will always make things a little bit more interesting. So
we'll
I'm excited.
just have to wait and see, but we'll catch you when the lights are ready to go out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. to the grid. We're just awaiting the start of the race here. But let's take a look what we're in store for. The Hungarian Grand Prix, we are in for 35 laps, 4.381 kilometers, 14 turns, just 2 DRS zones, only really one real overtaking opportunity. But if you get close into turn 1 with a DRS into turn 2, you may have a little bit of a chance. Either very short track, quick lap times, difficult to overtake, narrow circuit. Here we are awaiting the start of the race. Formula
Yeah,
Kai.
and it will.
Oh, sorry. Formula Kai is on pole. We got Devil on second. What are you thinking, Chubb? Sorry.
No, no, you're good. It'll be interesting to see like how the strategies go here as well, because as you mentioned last night, strategy is what cost a few people their race. So, interesting to see how they go, because you can start out on the hards here and go long, but a lot of times the undercut will get you out on that. Um,
Yep.
so
It's really just a gamble on when you think the safety car period is gonna happen. The hards are the best tire on this track, and for obvious reasons they go much further distance than the mediums do, but mediums just seem to die out really quickly. They do get you that undercut if you start out on them. But like I said, if you start on the hards and the safety car comes out at a bad time, be struggling. But if you start on the mediums, you're kind of guaranteed. If it comes out early, you can switch to the hards, and out late, then switch to another set of tires later on.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, and like we had said, like well, actually, just looking here, it looks like hard tires for the top 5 as of right now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how everybody else behind them does, like trying to catch up. But I mean, you've got Boone and Vamu both on mediums as of right now. So once they change that, they should be moving back up to that pack. Um,
Yeah, it's interesting that a lot of drivers opting for the hards, or at least showing that early on. But we'll see. We'll see how this all plays out. It's a little bit cloudy out there. No rain expected as it stands. But who knows? With Codemasters and approximate weather, we could potentially see some. It's looking a little misty out there. Um, but
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah, we could see that, and cost bets live in the chat there. So be sure to put in what is the bet that we have live right now?
over under
Oh
penalty
wait, oh we
points.
we
We're
we
ready to
have green
go though.
lights.
5 red lights. Formula Kai on pole. Red Devil on second position,
Oh,
and we're away. So difficult to see. Formula Kai trying to chop across Red Devil, but he's alongside into turn 1. Oh, it's a little bit of a dive.
ooh,
They're wide.
oh
Little
wow,
bit of contact, and a little bit of contact further back as well. But Red Devil holding that inside line, potty up to P3. And there's G Boone
wow.
around in the back. Formula Kai gets that position again. Maybe Devil feeling that he overstepped the boundaries just a bit too much and didn't want to have any sort of intervention happening later on. But it's Formula Kai leading from Red Devil and Potty, who jumped up to P3, I believe, ahead of QRO Remen. And we're away here on lap 1.
Yeah, and wow, already, I mean, Potty up 2 positions in third right there. Rimmons down 1. SSR William up 3 positions in 6th. And rain is starting to fall on the grid.
Oh my goodness, rain is falling. And we have a yellow flag. Actually, that is Stubley, who's out of the
Oh,
session. The safety car
there's
already
a
in lap 1.
full safety car. Wow.
And you're saying rain is starting to fall. And I can see that on the screen. We've got rain happening here in lap 1 with a lap 1 safety car. Rain is coming down. Important to check the tires now. Is anybody going to take the bait? Oh, looks like no. Not wet
No?
enough yet. Oh, actually, yes. Potty. Red
Mm.
Devil jumping into the pits. Formula Kai is one of the only ones who stayed out.
Oh, wow. And now we have seen this play out in the past that when Devil was leading, everyone behind him came and pitted. I believe that was the Netherlands that he got. No, it wasn't the Netherlands. There was a track earlier in the season where Devil was in the lead and everybody behind him pitted, and it was unfortunate because of the safety car. But now we're seeing that come back to bite Kai.
So Kai elected to stay out there with the rain falling at the late stages of lap 1, and that is very interesting because we saying we weren't really expecting any rain, but it was looking particularly grim outside. So it is interesting that it has already come down. Red Devil jumping onto those intermediates, Potty following him. Those who stayed out are Formula Kai, SSR William, Hood Kool-Aid Man, Jay Supreme. SSR Williams, the only driver on the mediums, the rest on the hards. Possible race strategies. I don't think that's going to apply here. Powered by AWS. The rain is falling. We'll see how long it lasts. It may not be significant enough to affect the track conditions to the point where we're going to need any pit stops, but the majority of the drivers are thinking so at this point, Chubb.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, if it does not affect them, then your biggest winners are going to be the kick salvers. I mean, both Jay Supreme and SSR William electing to stay out. Also, Hood Kool-Aid Man, the Haas there in third, and then as well as our leader Formula Kai. But let's see how this affects them, because you know we didn't even have a full lap of fresh rubber being put on this surface, so it's not like the track is flicked in at this point.
See those drivers that are on the slick tires, they're just desperately weaving around, trying to keep any temperature that they can in the tires. They don't really care about tire wear at this point. It's all about tire temperature, because once that's out the window, tire wear doesn't even matter at that point. If you've got cold tires, you're out of luck.
Yeah, and Codemasters is showing right now that it is overcast, 22% chance of rain, but in 10 minutes, we are going to light rain at a 57% chance, so
It's a huge gamble, it feels like, at this point to have not pitted, but they have made their bed. The rest of the grid is caught up to them. If they pit now, they're falling all the way to the back. They're just hoping for any sort of early safety car intervention, maybe like what we just saw there in lap 1.
Yes, and those rain chances are climbing by the minute, already up to 62% chance of rain. I don't know how that happened in 30 seconds, but it did. Thanks, Codemasters.
That approximate weather, like I said, I feel like I might have cursed it, but you never know. You never know. When there's 9% chance of rain, that could be 100. And Formula Kai is sliding around behind the safety car.
Yeah. That's...
This is dire situations, and we've got safety car going in this lap. So
restarts on this game always been very tricky, because unlike past games, like, you cannot heat up these tires near to the level that you could. Actually, a lot of tires will be cold for these drivers, which makes them very slick. So I really backing them up here in the third sector. Wow.
I is now launching it away. Launching it away is maybe a bit of an understatement, but he has gotten a much better jump than SSR Williams did. He's sliding around still in like 6th gear. It is absolutely wild. Here we go, flying into turn 1. You can see a bunch of drivers behind. Red Devil is leading those intermediate runners, and we're gonna jump on board with the Mercedes driver as we watch him potentially cut through the field here. Keep your eyes on that gap for the lead, though. We'll jump to that if there's anything happening on the slick runners, but Red Devil, you can already see the performance he has on those intermediate tires compared to Jay Supreme ahead. He's right on the rear of him.
Yeah, oh, and Jay Supreme goes wide there. Oh, and he goes wide again, and Devil takes advantage.
Devil takes advantage of that one position up. QRL Remen is next to challenge Mr. Jay Supreme in the kick salver on the hards. It is quite wet out there. We can see the raindrops on the track. No tri line appearing as of yet.
Oh. Wow. A little bit of a moment there from SSR William. Saved it, though.
Red Devil has a little bit of a gap to close in. We'll jump on board with Formula Kai. He has kept it on the track for a full lap. SSR William is pretty close behind on those medium tires. I think that SSR is going to jump into the pits here. He's called it quits. doesn't think that it's
Yeah.
going to improve anytime soon. Formula Kai is staying out. He sets the fastest lap because we haven't had a full racing lap yet, but Red
Oh.
Devil reclaims that position and he is up into P3. All those drivers aside from Formula Kai and Hood Kool-Aid Man, so SSR William and J Supreme, both jumping into the pits. Only 2 drivers left on the slick tires. Red Devil trying to close into Hood Kool-Aid Man, who's doing very well on his own to be up there in P2 on the slicks in the wet. Oh, he can't really keep the car going in the right way though.
Wow.
Just see how difficult it is. He can't get it slowed down. He's all over the track. Red Devil is closed in immensely. Formula Kai is doing really well here just to, I know, even pull away from Hood Kool-Aid Man. Both of them on the same tire. But Red Devil just has to be patient in this moment. Knows he has the advantage on these guys. Should it dry out, these guys will have to make an extra pit stop, but I just don't see that happening soon enough at this point. It is really wet out there. Hood Kool-Aid Man is doing a huge favor to Formula Kai, holding up Red Devil for as long as he has. Neither of those drivers. Oh, Hood Kool-Aid Man last second dives in the pits. Manages to keep it on the track as well, doesn't hit the wall. I've done that many a times, and it's 2.1 seconds now the gap. Audi has QRL Remen behind. He sets the fastest lap. QRL Remen takes a little bit of a look, but doesn't have the space. Some good salt in P5. AM2 championship leader, AM2 reserve filling in tonight, doing extraordinarily well in these conditions. Of course, he had a little bit of practice last night, but that is paying off right now. He is up into the top 5 in AM1.
Yes, and G-Boon, who started on the back row of the grid, actually started in dead last, is now up to 7th. So watch out, here comes G-Boon, and he's actually closing the gap to Puck. Speaking of closing a gap, though, Devil is now under 2 seconds. Looks like he's going to be probably going to be within a second and a half of Formula Kai by the end of this lap.
It's unbelievable to me how Formula Kai has kept the pace up in these conditions on the hard tire. He is like, this is an unbelievable performance. I think this is going under the radar about how amazing this is, that he is flying out there on the hard tires. He's managing to keep Devil within that 1.5 second range. Obviously Devil closing in now, but it's been what, 4 laps now, 2-3 laps since we restarted the safety car. Still is on the track within a second ahead of Red Devil. That gap now is closing quickly though. The rest of the field closing in as well. 2 seconds for Potty, and now that Red Devil is going to be closing in on this lap, I'm sure that the gap isn't going to. Oh no, we've got Vamu out. Oh no, he's out of the pit lane. Never mind. That's not on the track. Decided to call it quits. The wet conditions aren't for him tonight.
Yep, so Vamu out. Now there's 12 drivers on track. And Devil still closing in that gap. But I mean, once again, Formula Kai just unbelievable that the gap at the start of this lap was 0.923.
Yep, and
he's getting a little bit of time in this section, but my goodness.
It's unbelievable how he's kept his pace up. And we've got a driver off the track that looks like a Hood Kool-Aid Man in P11. Gotten it going again. Driver who elected to stay out earlier on. Pay off for him. Now Red Devil may have a chance if he can get the exit on Formula Kai. 3/10 is the gap. DRS is not disabled yet. So Red Devil has the advantage of DRS. That's shocking to me. It looks so much wetter than it actually is. Red Devil deciding not to go for it. Formula Kai not even ready to yield position. He is braking as late as he would normally. Is this a glitch? Like, is it wet for us and dry for Kai? Cause
I don't think so, just because of all the intermediate tires on the grid. Like,
I just don't understand how he's absolutely cooking out there. He's
I
keeping
mean,
Red Devil at bay on the incorrect compounded tires, one would argue at this point. Obviously, DRS has not been disabled, but I am
oh,
questioning whether the stewards are even working today.
and he is. I mean, watching from Devil's point of view, he is having like moments, pretty much every corner. But I mean, he,
It's going to be Red Devil's chance now to try and claim the lead. Then he's got one more corner to go. DRS hasn't been disabled.
Oh,
Formula Kai
and
is
there goes-
jumping into the pits.
yeah.
So
I mean, he
What
held
is-
on for a long time.
yeah, that was a commendable effort there. We've got a yellow flag. That's an car that's around Hood Kool-Aid Man again.
Yes. Oh, and he has lost part of his wing there.
Red Devil now.
Oh, and oh, he spun
Oh,
out
no.
again. Nope. That's there we go. Okay. Yeah, we got it going.
Red Devil takes the lead of the race. Then he's got Potty behind in P2 and Remnant in P3. Some good salt now in P4 after the pit stop of Formula Kai. So Formula Kai gets the advantage of a couple laps fresher intermediates compared to those ahead of him. Is a little bit farther behind than I'm sure he would have liked, but who knows what could happen here. We got another yellow flag.
Oh, and Hood Kool-Aid Man again. Right in the first or in the last turn right there. Electing not to go into the pits even with that front wing damage. Yeah, he's missing an end plate there, the left one. Front left. Oh. And Hood Kool-Aid Man picks up a 3-second time penalty there as well.
The penalty prediction for the over-under is still up, and we have only gotten our first 3-second penalty now. So if you're interested in over-under, under could potentially be the play tonight. I know I don't think anybody's voted for the over, but in case anybody feeling audacious moment in time. Some good salt though is keeping company with Kuro Remen. You gotta give it to him on his performance here. Remen is a very speedy driver, and these conditions are really tricky, and he's keeping up to the gearbox of that Aston Martin right now in a pretty decent line through turn 4. Oh no, that's turn 5. I messed that up again. Turn 6 and 7 we go. Turn 4 and 5. Never get those ones right.
Yeah, and Hux is right behind him as well. They've kind of got a little bit of a train going there. Then behind them, you also have a mini train, 2-car train of G-Boon and Kryptonic Swing. And looks like Hood Kool-Aid Man is out of the race.
Called it quits in the pit lane, it appears, after a little bit of a tough time in that rain stint. Fortunately, chose to not pit. The rain came out and did not pay off today. AI is driving out onto the track, though. Hopefully, not gonna interfere with our leader, who is going down the main straight right now. As Hood Kool-Aid Man's AI rips it around the turn. Oh, he looks like he's ghosted. So. A little bit dicey. Oh god. I turn left now. Good luck, everyone else. Oh, Fox has gotten ahead of G-Boon there, I think.
Oh.
Or
And
is...
G-Boon and Swing. Oh, and they
Oh!
both hit. Oh, no. Oh, Boone lost his end plate there. Oh, my gosh.
Just managed to catch the end of that one there. Unfortunate. Missed the end of it. Oh! Formula Kai catching up to G-Boon there. Kind of an inconvenient time. We'll take a look at that replay quickly. See, we just switched. Oh, there it is. Crash between G-Boon and Krypton there. And then just a bit later on, as G-Boon was getting himself back on track, and see in the picture there, Formula Kai swinging up the hill. It gets up pretty close between those two, but no harm, no foul. Back to live pictures. Like I mentioned before, you can vote with channel points to get your cross bets in. a prediction for penalty points over under right now. Looks like under is the heavy favorite, but the other heavy favorite looks to be. Oh, why is QRL pitting?
Yeah, QRL Rimmon going into the pits there. I wonder if, well,
Looking for a fresh set of intermediates.
his previous set there was around
Oh
30% wear.
man, I don't know why he pulled that move, but maybe is it staying wet for the rest of the race?
Yeah, Silkweaver also pitting there. Having a look at his tires there real quick. He was at about 37% on his left side tires. Maybe some of these drivers are starting to feel that wear.
Thank you. I have no.
Oh wow, yeah, G-Boon, his rear left tire is at 53% wear already, and it is melting 102 degrees hot. So
Oh man.
maybe the track is starting to drop a little bit because as I go up to SSR William, his rear left tire is 107 degrees and 55% wear.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Oh, Jibun just not able to keep it on the track right now. Some good salt jumps in the pits there. Releases pucks. I think strategy is coming out now, and pucks goes off the track.
Yeah, and the weather is showing light rain at 79%, even for the 10-minute forecast. So looks like we're still going to have some rain falling, but
Formula
even
Kai.
when you go up to Red Devil, his tires, his rear left is at 45% already. So, I mean, he will not be able to finish the race on these intermediates as well. He'll have to get a new set, maybe even two.
That could potentially bring Formula Kai back into the mix. He's not too far back from the leader here. Let's get the gap up to the leader right quick. On board with Potty. J Supreme is retired in the pits. Not having a good time right now with the wet.
Well, so those of you at home, that means everybody, as long as they finish the race on the grid now, will get points.
Here's the gap to the leader for Formula Kai. 12 seconds is the gap to Red Devil. That's pretty close now. He's closed in quite a bit where he was once when he pitted.
Yeah, and the time you lose going into the pits here is around 21 seconds. So be interesting to see like when Devil goes into the pits, because obviously Kai will go ahead of him at that point, but Devil will then be on fresher tires.
On the 7-lap fresher tires at this point. Remen is one of the drivers top 6 who has the freshest tires. He has 2-lap old intermediates. Some good salt went on mediums.
Yeah, he did.
Oh
Bold
no!
strategy.
I don't know.
I think that may have been a preset because he started on the hards.
Yeah.
I think he may have forgot to change it there.
But he did a full lap on them, so he didn't come back into the pits.
Yeah, and maybe he's thinking that this track is going to dry out some.
I am so confused. I'm beyond confused right now.
He has a moment there. Yeah, curbs are slick when it's wet.
They are definitely a little slick, especially on the slick tires.
Yeah.
26 seconds back from the lead right now. You're right. Maybe with the tires overheating, it's just not as wet as it looks like for us, but it looks pretty wet out there from the commentary booth. Formula Kai getting ahead of Kryptonic Swang down the main straight. Is DRS still active? I would. Oh, yes, it is. So it's hasn't progressed past any point of removing DRS, which is really interesting.
Yeah. see.
Some Good Salt didn't pit that lap. He's still confident that these medium tires are the ones to be on. Boone sets the fastest lap. Audi is 4.5 back from the lead. Puck's about 10 seconds back, but he has Formula Kai coming up to the back of him now. Gonna have to, or not have to, but I'm sure Devil is pleading his case for him to play the team game here and hold up Kai as long as he can for the championship.
Yeah, and he's recharging his battery right now too, so that would also indicate that he's gonna hold him up some.
In half a second now, he's gonna have the benefit of DRS. Yeah, back to interval.
Yep. Ooh.
Puck's trying to break the
Okay.
toe. Not close enough
Yeah.
now this time.
Oh,
Oh!
wow. Oh my goodness.
It was really close there between the two drivers. Pucks had a
Yeah.
little bit of a lockup, but that allowed Formula Kai to get by. Fortunately, dodging the driver ahead. For both of them, that could have been a little bit unfortunate if they had made any contact at that point, but luckily didn't make contact. Unfortunately for Pucks, he lost that position there. Didn't get much of a chance to hold up Formula Kai. But they're
He
both
did,
still in the
and
race.
yeah, and I mean his when you look at Pux's left rear there, it's 67% wear. I mean he's got to be getting close to coming to the pits and changing those.
Play on screen there. Battle we just saw between Kai and Pucks almost came together.
And Potty is in the same boat there, almost 70% wear on that rear left. Gonna get that into puncture range before too long.
All these drivers probably trying to hold out until the dry conditions come out, but Formula Kai going a little bit more aggressive on this strategy, driving in the wet on the slicks for a little bit, pitting onto the intermediates then, and then just setting some fast lap times. Here he is, one of the fastest drivers on the track right now. About 9 seconds back from the lead, but he was more than 16 or so time that he pitted. That being said, gotta give it to Red Devil right now for I'm sure he has a really high tire wear right now, high degradation circuit, and held out on those intermediates quite a long time in the lead. So doing quite well just to maintain that gap and extend it against Potty. Formula Kai still has another car to clear before he is chasing down the lead.
Yeah, and Devil, speaking of tire wear on him, his front left is at 40%, rear left 68%. So yeah, he's impressive to keep the gap like he has, even with that amount of tire wear.
The whispering to those Pirelli green wall tires at the moment. Lap 17 of 35, just about the halfway point of the race, and been on the intermediate tires since the lap 3 restart of the safety car. Driver out early, Stubbly in the first lap. That saw 4 drivers who stayed out on the slick tires. That was Formula Kai, the 2 Kickstarter drivers, SSR Williams, J Supreme, and then Hood Kool-Aid Man. Did not play out for Hood Kool-Aid Man, J Supreme, and SSR Williams, but Formula Kai just absolutely shredded.
Oh, Potty going into the pits there. G-Boon picking up a 3-second time penalty.
Potty in the pits, Pucks in the pits, and that's going to release Formula Kai here. Like I said, didn't play out for 3 drivers to stay on the slicks, but Formula Kai is in the P2 now, and he has the tire advantage. Only 9 seconds to gap. Lots of racing left to happen, but that's the tail of the tape as we go into the first 50% race. Now on to the next half we go. Got a yellow flag. Oh, Some Good Salt maybe having a little bit of a moment. And fortunately for him, not getting any damage. He's on those slick tires. The only driver, as far as I know, on the slick tires right now. A couple of drivers just made pit stops. Let's check what we got here. No, everybody else opting for the intermediate tires at this point. So, despite DRS still being enabled, Some Good Salt on the mediums, most of the rest of the drivers have decided it is an intermediate tire for these type of conditions. I would tend to agree that it's hard to say because you're not driving on track. Obviously, the tire wear is extremely high, on the intermediate tires, and they're just absolutely boiling. Red Devil jumps into the pits now, so he's gonna pit. Let's get it slowed down for that
Yep.
stopping. Manages to do that. No penalty now. And let's see how much of a gap can Formula Kai pull out now as he flies past Red Devil down the main pit straight. Devil peels away from his pit box. Going to lose a position to QRL Remen as well, who did a little bit earlier, I believe, than oh no, a little bit later than Formula Kai. He's since
Yeah.
closed in that gap a little bit as well.
And the damage is kind of done on Kai's tires there, but it might work out more in his favor with only 16 laps remaining right now because his rear left's already at 61%. But like I said, he'll probably pit around lap 22, 23, as long as the conditions change there or don't change, and he goes back to another set of intermediates. So he will have the stronger tires to come back and fight Devil again.
It's gonna come down to the last few laps for sure. It's all about when he decides to pit. So there's about 15 laps to go after he crosses the line here. Sure, gonna have to jump in the pits at least one more time. But what it does to having those 10 lap old enters at this point, if these conditions do change, he's gonna have a little bit of an advantage because then Red Devil will have to pit as well. He has track position at this point.
Yeah, that's correct. Um, the one that would really benefit if conditions were to change right now is Rimmon. Like he's got a little bit better tire wear going on right now. He's starting to catch up to Formula Kai
Yeah,
just a little bit,
he is.
but also he's looking to pit probably with about 9 laps to go there. He could potentially go to the end, but I mean he would definitely be in puncture range at that point.
Yeah. He was catching a little bit of Formula Kai there. About 3.8 was the gap. Oh, 3.9 now. Was about 5 seconds just a lap ago, so it's coming down. Red Devil, crucially, about the same gap that Formula Kai had to, about 9 seconds there coming out of the pits. So seems like in the wet, it's about an 18-second pit stop uh, loss. How much time you lose on track. So uh, we'll see how much that comes into play with 15 laps to go. When these drivers pit, will they be able to close in those 18 seconds after pitting? Curious to
Yeah, and
see.
Rimmon really making up some time right now.
Yeah.
Looks like he's strong right there in sector 2 and 3. Lost a little bit of time in sector 1.
Hawks is chasing down some good salt now. Some good salt on the medium tires. Hawks on the intermediates. I don't know about you, but that rain coming down is screaming intermediate condition to me. Some good salt doing very well though to maintain a top 5 position though. Oh, a little bit of a slip under the traction there. DRS is going to be available for Pucks. This is absolutely wild in the wet. We have got DRS.
Yeah, and oof.
Not too
Pucks
far
makes the
behind those
pass.
guys. Oh, Krypton.
Oh. Oh. Salt has a moment. Around goes Pucks. Up here also comes Kryptonic Swing.
Yep.
Oh.
Medium tire's just not working as good as he enters at this point. Sure, he's hoping for some drier conditions to come, but it's anybody's guess at this point.
No, but and even further back, you've got G-Boon on hard tires and Silkweaver on medium, so they're not setting the fastest lap though. So
Yep.
we haven't seen that condition. The track hasn't changed completely yet.
No, hasn't officially switched over. QRL Remen closed in immensely now. Formula Kai, he's almost within DRS. I think Formula Kai is jumping into the pits though.
Going in.
They are both going in. That is interesting. This will be interesting. Now, Potty is not too far behind Red Devil, and they're both flying into turn 1 now. Red Devil regains the lead. It's 1.1 the gap to Potty behind.
And Kai is going on those mediums. Oh boy.
Kai is going on the mediums.
And that is interesting.
Kai's on the
Let's
mediums
see.
and Remen is on the inters.
Ooh. I mean, Kai's already showed us that he can drive in these conditions on slicks, so
You can certainly do it, yeah. But oh, you can see those cold medium tires are just, they're gonna struggle for the start until they heat up a little bit, which is gonna be difficult to do in the wet. QRL Remen opting to follow the leader and jump into the pits. He's got some good salt ahead of him with Formula Kai ahead of him as well. And you can see some good salt just struggling a little bit more than these drivers on those 9-lap old mediums. Oh, Formula Kai. A little bit sideways there.
Wow. Boone picks up another 3-second time penalty.
Fox is also, looks like he's under pressure from Kryptonic Swaying as they go towards the main straight there. DRS is going to be available for the Ferrari, as is for the Red Bull and the Aston Martin of QRL Remen on some good salt. We're going to see some action, potentially some overtakes in the wet. Fox is trying to hang on to that position to Kryptonic Swaying. Looks like he's done the work. Let's check into this battle now for P5 as it stands. QRL Remen and Formula Kai both get ahead of Some Good Salt, who's on those older medium tires. Formula Kai on the fresh mediums now. QRL Remen opting for a different strategy, followed Formula Kai into the pits, but could not predict which tire he took, so could not completely copy his strategy. This is where we're gonna see actually a little bit of difference in pace. I think in the twisty turning sector of sector 2 and sector 3, really where Remen's setup of the inters are going to come to life if this track is wet. But it looks like Formula Kai does have some pace in sector 1, able to extend that gap enough. See as Remen's closing the gap through the chicane. Formula Kai getting some good traction out of the corners and pulling away.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's kind of flipped the table on Remen, where he was catching him earlier before they pitted. But now, I mean, Remen's staying right with him though. He will have DRS.
We'll have DRS on this lap. It is really interesting that gap not really closing. In fact, Formula Kai has the opportunity to extend it if he puts those corners together, chains them up pretty nicely. He can pull away.
Yeah.
About 4 seconds ahead to Krypton Swang, who's on the 6-lap old intermediates. All the drivers ahead of Krypton also on the inters, about the same amount of laps used on them. Red Devil maintaining the lead with about a 1.5 second gap. All to play for though. A bunch of different strategies coming out here. Maybe we'll be seeing a crossover between the slicks and intermediates. They seem to be pretty equal at this time. 7/10 the gap between Remen and Kai. Has been that since the start of this lap and for most of the part of the last lap. Very equally matched despite being completely different compounded tires.
Yeah, and Kai is catching Kryptonic Swing in front of him, who is on the intermediate. This lap it was around 4 seconds whenever they started the lap. That gap will be down to around 2.8 whenever they come around this time. It's even less than that. Wow.
Well, as long as it stays wet, it looks like the leaders are going to potentially be able to finish this race on those tires that they're currently on. But it's just a question of will Kai be able to carry himself and QRL Remen back up to the front? Will the conditions change to favor his strategy at this point? Or will it stay wet and everybody have a bit of an opportunity to claim victory tonight? A lot of drivers still in the mix, obviously. Body 1.9 behind, but when Formula Kai and Remen get through these drivers, 10 laps to go. Who knows what could happen here? They have a decent gap, but their tires much fresher. Um, and the degradation is quite high around this circuit. Red Devil has still quite the task at hand to try to maintain this lead. He's extended his gap a little bit.
Yeah, and looks like Formula Kyle is going to knock off about a second this lap. 2 Kryptonic Swing in front of him, who is right behind Pucks. Looks like he was going to make the move there, but ducked back in. No, he goes back out again.
Pucks on the inside. Krypton on the outside. A little bit of a lockup at the front right for Krypton there. You can see in the background there, Formula Kai maintaining his lead over QRL Remen. Best case scenario for Red Devil right now is Pucks just keeps on this position for the Ferrari and makes it a little bit more difficult for the drivers behind to quickly navigate through the field here. A couple drivers to get through battling is a lot more difficult than just one trying to defend.
Yeah. But while Pucks has been doing that, he has allowed Formula Cow to get back within DRS upswing. So, and by association QRL Remen as well. So, and those two are on pressure tires.
All gonna come together here on this lap. Every driver you can see in the frame will have DRS on each other.
Ooh.
Oh, Formula Guy getting a little bit loose. Trying to take a look on the inside of Kryptonic Swang. Fox is gonna lead this quartet. I think that's the right word. Across the line. Lap 27, going to lap 28. No, going to lap 27 now because Red Devil already crossed the line. He has a bit of a gap to Krypton behind. Formula Kai. Oh, he's gonna look on the inside.
Oh, can he stick it? Oh, and he does. Wow.
Really clean overtake there. The slick tires in the wet against the intermediates. He managed to pull that move off. QRL Remen is crucially separated between these two drivers now. Look quickly at that replay. Didn't get too much action recently. We want to see all the overtakes that we can. Formula Kai on the inside. Just chasing down Bucks now.
We'll see how long that Remen allows Swing to be in front of him here. I think it's really hard to make an overtake through this section of the track, though.
It is extremely difficult, and that's going to buy Formula Kai a little bit of time. Fortunately for the campaign of Remen here. That was a really good send, though, by Formula Kai just to get the move done, and fortunately bought him the position and bought him a bit of time to his competition behind. So once he gets clear of Pucks here, it's going to be sunny days and clear skies until he can close the gap up ahead to Potty.
Oh, and Remen with a really good run off the turn there.
Remen's going to get the move done, it looks like. Formula Kai around the outside of Pucks.
Oh! Remen, wow!
A little bit of contact
and
there.
Swings back around.
Oh no, didn't quite see all of that. Let's check the quick replay there. Switch to it just at the last second. Maybe you can see it in the background there, but Remen unfortunately losing out a little bit. It's on the inside of Kryptonic Swang. A little bit contact there. Looks like he went a little bit wide.
Yeah, and while we were watching that, Formula Kai is now back up on the podium with Pucks right behind him.
Pucks is immediately behind Formula Kai, but he's going to be stretching his legs and pulling away from that DRS immediately. 1.4 seconds the gap. That's the difference between some fresh tires. Doesn't matter what compound they are right now. You pick your poison. Ooh, a little bit of slipperiness out of turn 11 for Formula Kai. Into turn 12 we go. He's got about 15 seconds to close in. 6 or so laps to go. Red Devil, I believe, has done the damage right now. His tires may potentially be screaming at this point, though.
It looks like Remen has DRS, and it looks like he's going to get that move done this time on Kryptonic Swing going into 1.
Perfect. Gets that move safely done. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
damage is done for his campaign. He's not going to be able to fight for that podium tonight, I think, unless he can pull some magic off and the intermediate tires just come to life here with 6 and or so laps to go. A really crazy race that all these tires are viable options for these drivers right now. Formula Kai, despite it raining for the majority of the race, he's been on slick tires for the majority of this race. Red Devil has decided that the intermediates are the best for him. He's comfortably maintaining that lead, about 4.5 seconds behind him, 15 seconds to his closest rival tonight. Looking to put a little bit of a dent in that championship lead of Formula Kai with 3 races to go after tonight. We've got Imola, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi to finish the season off.
Yes. And Formula Kai, you know, he's closing down, but I mean, we're talking like a tenth a lap. I mean, he's not going to catch him at that pace. So it just kind of shows you the mediums are doable, but you know they don't really have all the pace there yet. The track is not that dry,
and that's kind of a unfortunate position he was put in by just using the hard tires as his starting compound. Unfortunately, wearing them out about 7 laps, so sure those won't be any good for him at this point, especially in the wet. You're gonna want that fresh rubber. Oh, we got a yellow flag, and that's Formula Kai.
Oh, Formula Kai! Oh my gosh!
Formula Kai on the slick tires. Oh my goodness. He's around. And that actually puts Pucks up into the podium positions yet again.
And I'm not seeing any wing damage on him. So
Formula Kai having an untimely and uncommon mistake there on the exit of turn 2, it appeared, and potentially just a little bit of a spin there for him. It didn't look like he had any drivers around him at that point. He was, like we said, nobody pressuring him from behind. He was 11 seconds back of Potty ahead. Now he has got a mountain to climb to get back to that podium, and a bit of a gap to get in that top 5 yet again.
Yeah. Yeah, he's about 7 seconds behind Swang there. None of those drivers with time penalties. QRL Rimmon is fighting Pucks, so I mean he's got some hope there, but Rimmon once again cannot make the pass going into 1. He's got DRS again. Let's see if he tries it. And goes around the outside. Oh, and he does get the pass. Well,
he's pulled
Pucks is staying
alongside. You got the inside now.
Oh, they almost touch.
Almost touched there, but
it.
Great fighting there between those 2 drivers. Bremen gets that move. He's up into the podium now after a little bit of a mistake. Trying to overtake Krypton earlier. We said, oh, I think it's out of reach for him now, but this race has got turned on its head. Formula Kai makes a little bit of a mistake, and now Bremen finds himself into that podium on his return. Got 6 seconds to go for Potty, and I think I don't want to talk about it too soon, but Potty is having a brilliant race right now. Just hanging it out.
We have a safety car. Wow. Some good salt spins and brings out a safety car on those soft tires.
This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. You have to realize Red Devil missed the opportunity to pit. The safety car is going to catch him here. And Potty has jumped into the pits. I thought I cursed him there, but I may have just brought him the saving grace that he needed to potentially claim a win tonight. We're going to have a green-white checkered scenario going after the safety car goes in, and Potty is the first driver on the fresh intermediate tires.
Yes, and Formula Kai also now with the opportunity going into the pits to get on those intermediate tires.
That gives Kai a little bit of a lifeline here, but that is absolutely horrendous for Red Devil. He is going to be pushing this safety car throughout this lap here to try to get him across the line as quick as possible so he can jump into the pits. He may yet just get behind Potty as he had a big enough gap to those drivers behind, but who knows? Time will tell. It's going to be a little bit of a dicey one here for Red Devil. But we have another
Yeah.
safety car with just a few laps to go. Man, I was just saying how Potty was having a brilliant race, and then this happens. He gets a huge, I don't even know what, a gift given to him. He is lucky enough to have the chance to jump into the pits the first opportunity. Let's check to see what the tires are. Red Devil on those 13 lap old intermediate tires. The gap is about 5 seconds behind, 20 seconds to Remen. He's jumping in the pits now. He's getting that throttle down. Potty's going to take the lead of the race. I
Oh,
think
wow.
Devil may jump behind his teammate here and slot in between Pucks and Kryptonic Swang. But Potty takes the lead of the race. Red Devil throwing on the fresh intermediate tires. But it's going to
Let's
be
see.
QRL
Oh,
coming around the final corner now.
I do think he's going to come out in second.
Is he going to get out in time? Remen has got the overspeed. Here comes Red Devil. Oh, I don't think so. To the safety car line. And he's just behind Remen there. Oh, wow. A race under the safety car to the safety car line. Red Devil, unfortunately for him, losing 2 positions there from the safety car. And this is something that I've seen
Oh,
in
wow. And
Hungary a couple times. Oh my goodness,
and
I see what you saw. I see what you
oh my
see.
gosh, Formula Kai is on
I
soft
see
tires.
what you see. Formula Kai on soft tires. It is.
Oh man. Wow.
Someone needs to tell him that it's raining, because he doesn't know. He's been on slick tires the whole race. He doesn't know.
I mean, does he have rain turned off on his graphics? Like, what is going on here? Oh my gosh.
I don't understand, but he is taking a gamble here. P6
Oh
gonna
my.
be, I believe we're gonna be going green this lap because it's gonna be lap 34 and lap 35 to end it. So Potty is gonna lead the safety car off. Not all the drivers have caught back up yet, but Formula Kai is in that field. Red Devil, Pox, Krypton, Formula Kai, Potty, QRM, and your top 6 are on the back of that
Yeah.
safety car right now.
And actually, Boone will be catching them at a very opportune time. It looks like.
Yeah, he will have his tires warm.
Yeah.
But Potty is starting this restart. Safety car is yet to peel in the pits. He can't go yet. Once it jumps in, it's all up to him.
And Boone does have 9 seconds of penalties there, so, but he also is benefiting from some good salt, and Silkweaver still not catching the safety car, and we're going back green flag racing.
Green flag racing, here we go, and we've got a driver under pressure behind. That's actually going to be Hawks under pressure from Krypton. Krypton's on the intermediate tires. Formula Kai in the background there. He's under pressure from G-Boon. Potty is leading the race now. 1 to go. We've got to get back to gameplay to get you these final few laps of action.
Ooh.
Watching the gaps like an absolute hawk right now, trying to bring you any battles that come on track. But Red Devil seems to be the closest one behind QRL Remen. 2 drivers, no strangers. They've had a fair few battles in the previous season, and some fair battles at that. Really good competitors. Kryptonic Swang looks to be pressuring Fox here. Both those drivers on the intermediate tires. The slick's not quite coming to life yet for Formula Kai here on the penultimate lap. But with 2 more corners to go before we start the final lap, Potty is still your leader. Formula Kai gets ahead of Kryptonic Swang there. Must have been an audacious attempt at an overtake. He's within 4/10 of Pucks ahead. Those 2 drivers were really close behind. But Potty leads 1 lap to go now. He's got QRL Remen behind. He's going to be under pressure into turn 1. It looks 4/10 is the gap. DRS does not seem to be enabled for him because it was not enabled after the safety car. That's correct.
Oh.
So it's a straight fight here now. Red Devil just behind these 2, and it's very difficult to overtake on the track. Potty is in an awesome position right now with just under a lap to go. Formula Kai is under pressure from Kryptonic Swang behind. They're side by side going into turn 4. Formula Kai has the inside though. Oh, G-Boon a little bit wide going into turn 5 now. Believe that Formula Kai is going to have that position. Oh, Krypton taking a look though. Oh, doesn't have it. Body with 3 tenths behind him. He's looking to hold off these two formidable drivers behind. As you mentioned before, just did not have the good luck last season to be able to pull off any decent results. This season, he's turned it around. He's got the pace. Just still hasn't had the luck. Until now, it looks like he's got 2 corners left to go. One more braking zone, one more traction
Oh.
zone for the McLaren driver. Through
That's
turn
where he would've lost it right
14,
there.
we go. And
uh,
Potty is your
yeah.
Hungarian Grand Prix winner. Congratulations,
job.
and several DNFs across the line. Not too happy with how the safety car played out for him, but it gave the win to Potty in this scenario. Just an absolute gift. But he still had to finish the job. He gets P1 tonight. QRM in P2, Devil P3. He left the session. Pucks P4 and Formula Kai P5 in the soft tires.
Yeah.
You have to give a big shout out to Formula Kai in that race as well. On the slick tires for most of the race in the wet, and he managed to get in the top 5 there. So, wow, what a finish!
Yeah, that crazy finish. You know, I think driver of the day, man, you got to go to Potty there. You know, he doesn't have the best qualifying, but I mean, works his way up. Strategy plays out perfect. I mean,
he was
get the
quietly
advantage of the safety car.
Yeah, just quietly in P2 the whole race though.
He was, yeah,
Like,
and very clean from him too. Impressive. And then Rimmon, you know, coming back, new game, completely different, learning it, coming in here first race, getting second. I mean, that's very impressive as well.
definitely, yeah. What a finish to the race. Extremely exciting. Rather unfortunate for Devil though. You have to admit he did all the hard work and had the gap to his closest championship rival, who was actually leading the championship right now, and unfortunately just didn't play out in his favor. So unfortunate for him, but it's today a lucky day for Potty. Unfortunately, took a very unlucky day for Red Devil to get Potty the lucky day, but he is your winner of round 9, the Hungarian Grand Prix. Potty first, QRL Remen in second. If I could get my thing. Great. Pucks P3, Formula Kai P4, Krypton P5, SSR William P6, G Boon P7, Some Good Salt P8, Silver P9, and Red Devil was obviously not P10, but he left the session, so we'll get that fixed. That's your top 14 for tonight. We'll get you guys back here in a moment when we got the interview. Thanks for watching.
Go back.
Welcome back, everyone, to the interview booth. We've got two of our podium finishers here in the booth, waiting for QRL Reminiscence to join. But we'll start out now with, unfortunately, the P3 finisher tonight. Unfortunately for him, um, in control of the race for the majority of it, and just a unfortunate safety car timing came out. And yeah, Red Devil, talk us through that race. Firstly, I need to ask, those
Hey,
conditions out there. Um, it kept us guessing the entire race. What was the engineer telling you about what tires you should be on and everything? 'Cause Formula Kai seemed to have a different type of engineer today that was saying the slicks were the best tire, and
no,
everybody
I
else was
think
on the inters.
no, I think Jeff is correct. So he kept telling me there is I think it's dries seem like the best tire, whatever his usual punchline is. But yeah, it didn't feel like dries to me. Maybe like if somebody wanted, they could have taken a chance like I did, but I was, looking back and he started to gain a couple of laps on the mediums, and then it was almost the same, and then unfortunately he spun as well. So I don't think slicks were the play there at all. Uh, like you saw at the end, even like I got the fastest lap with the intermediate, so it was actually I thought it was. The rain was actually picking up, so yeah. I don't know. Like I think he just wanted to try and see what happens, probably. Because they wear on the intermediates was so high. But yeah, is what it is, I guess, for him. Unfortunate, but yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of degradation out there, obviously, causing lots of different strategies to come out with, especially with the rain happening. But I think the biggest talking point, obviously, we got to go to that safety car coming out. You had complete control of the race. It looked like about what was it, 11 seconds behind you or 5 seconds behind you to potty, and out there cruising, looked like you had it under control, and then boom, safety car out of nowhere. No idea why it even came out, anyways. What were you thinking when you just drove past the pits, or can you tell us how close was it for you to making it into the pits there?
Yeah, I think I sent it in the channel as well. Like 2 seconds uh sooner, and I would have dived into the pits. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Uh, Thankfully, I didn't lose more positions than I thought I would. I was like trying to push the safety car along, but it was too slow. And unfortunate potty and Remen caught up. I was pretty confident, but yeah, I think with like it's without the DRS and everything, it's so hard to pass. And looked like they had a little bit more straight line speed than me. I was like really flying in the corners, but yeah, I mean, I feel like most races are going like this for me. I think I had luck only in one race out of like five or six, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably used to this. Yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, hide my face under a pillow and cry later, probably. But yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I just played the clip on the stream for everybody to see. That is just literally at the first possible moment that you could not turn in, it came out. So that is just it couldn't be worse timing. But man,
Yeah.
still you gained a little bit of points on Formula Kai, who finished I think in the top five still. But um, how are you feeling with a couple of races to go? I know you absolutely cook around Imola and a couple of different tracks after that. See where this championship shakes out. You're in the lead of the constructors. Are you going to challenge
Mhm.
for the drivers with three to go?
I don't know. Like I think this was probably the race where I had to pick up the extra 10 points. I don't know, where did he finish? P5. So I think I gained like 6 points. It would have been great if I could have made that 16, but it is what it is. Gotta aim for winning the next three, I guess. But yeah, like you said, Imola's always been a good track for me, but I've had terrible luck there. If you've seen the last couple of seasons, as to what happened with me there, so I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm hoping to have a good race there. I don't know. I haven't done that track on this game honestly. So, and Vegas is always like a look at the draw. I think whoever has the DRS in the last lap is probably gonna win that race. So, DRS chicken or something like that would be key there. Or undercut or something like that. I don't know. You gotta think out the box there. I think in Vegas, Abu Dhabi's traditionally not been one of my favorite tracks, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah. If it happens, it happens. I'm not really too worried about that at the moment. We'll see.
Oh well, you gotta keep fighting, bro. Only 3 races left. I'm sure you can give him a little bit of a scare at least. So, yeah, best of luck to
Yeah.
you. Go into final three. Congratulations on the podium, Chubb. You got any questions for Mr. Red Devil?
Yeah, well, I actually just want to go back to the race start there. It seemed like you got a great jump.
Yeah.
Y'all both went down through the first turn. You actually got him there, but then it seemed like there was a little bit of wheel bang, a little bit of moment, but it almost seemed like that you backed off at that point. Is that true? Like what happened from your point of view?
Uh, yeah. So, I think at the start of the race, yeah, like you said, I got a good jump. I think I probably broke a little bit too late and went deep into that corner. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't want to fight the position honestly because I was behind him for like that the whole sector, I think middle sector, and he seemed like he was struggling, and it looked like it was raining as well. So I was like, okay, let me see how this goes. And by the end of lap one, there was a safety car. Was lap one? Was it lap two? I'm not. I can't remember
Yeah, lap one.
correctly.
Yeah, it was lap one.
Yeah, so like I said, end of that one, I was like, yeah, this is probably intermediate weather. So I jumped in, everybody else behind me. I think there was only like 4 people ahead of me that was trying to do that. I overtook them. I came up behind Kai, and I was like, okay, I'm clearly faster, but I think he probably had a little bit more straight line speed than me. I'm not too sure. So he kept me behind for one lap, but I knew I was going to pass him the next lap. But I think he pit. Uh, the wear on the intermediates was crazy. I think when I pit, my rear left was like 75%, I want to say. I was risking a puncture there, but second stint was really good. Yeah, I mean, at that point, I was like, should I just stay out on the intermediates? But it wasn't going to be worth it. I would have lost more positions than I would have gained probably. So, yeah, I didn't want to make the same mistake as Monaco. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to pit.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I think it was the right decision there at the end too. But just was curious about that there at the start because it seemed like y'all were fighting really hard coming through that first corner and going around, and then it seemed like you almost like just backed off of the position going into I believe it was turn four there. So just was curious about that. But once again, great race. Unfortunate because of the safety car and the situation there and the clip that everybody's seen, but you know, still shown excellent pace all season, and keep up the good work, man. You've done great.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, PK, for jumping in. Thanks always. Chubb, you guys do a great job, and congratulations to Remen on his podium on his race back, and Potty, great job, man. It felt like it was going to be a P2, but well deserved win for Potty. So long time coming. So congratulations.
Uh, Thanks a lot, Red Devil, for joining us. Congratulations yet again. We'll move on now. Obviously, Remen has not yet joined the booth, but congratulations to him on a huge P2 there on his return to contest speed. Absolutely fantastic. But now it's all about the winner, Potty AM1 race winner. I admittedly have one less chirp to chirp you about, but I am so happy for you, sir. Congratulations. Uh, Tell us about that race. It kind of just all came to you at the end, but you were comfortably just, putting in those lap times, doing what you needed to do, and just sneakily in second place up until that point. So you'd done all the hard work. Just talk us through a little bit of your race there.
Yeah, thanks, dude. And luck finally went my way. So I think the start was was where it started. Like I mean, I had a decent start and I jumped a couple of guys and I just had confidence from then. And I enjoy driving in the wet. So um I saw Devil was flying and I'm like, just keep it in the lines. Don't get a penalty, don't spin, and just take second. And Devil got so unlucky, man. And yeah, I just caught it on the right time.
Yeah, definitely right place, right time. But like you said, luck finally went your way. I think it may have taken me just. I was pretty hard on you with this week with a couple of trips, so maybe that's what it took to just get you to dig deep and pull it out. So, but like you said, those
Yeah,
last
don't
few
stop
laps
that
there, you
deep.
still had some work to do. DRS wasn't going to be enabled. Talk us through those final laps, having those two drivers, QRL Remen and Red Devil behind you. They're two tough customers, and you held up underneath the pressure.
Yeah, I knew my straight line speed was like way above them, and I in the middle sector I saved up so much ERS that I just dump it on all the straights, and that kind of saved me. The ERS saved me. I think they would have had me if it was a different way.
DRS management coming into play with the last two laps there, but still, really a performance from you, sir. Congratulations on your best result in contest of speed. I can comfortably say that. Did you get a win in AM2? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
So it's your first win in cost, which is awesome. Congratulations. Absolute
That's nice.
absolute pleasure to commentate on that.
Thanks, dude.
Chubb, you got any questions for our winner tonight?
No, I just want to say, if you go back and watch the streams, you don't even have to like quote me on this. I mean, like I've literally called it all season. I've been like, man, he has the pace. Like if he can just, basically not do like a mindset masterclass. Like I even coined it as going potty at one point in the season. But man, you strung it together, and like I'm just so proud. Like this is I've called it all season. I've been like, dude, this guy's got it. Like, and it and what about this game has really like helped you excel up here? Because kind of like BK just said, like you were last year AM2, made the jump up to AM1 this year, and that a lot of times that's a big jump for a lot of people, but you've been right up there, right in the top, 3 to 5. I'd say really the top three in pace most races. So what about this game do you really like? Like what has helped you?
I think it's well, first of all, it's my teammate when he was still around. he he helped me so much, and then like the group of guys that I practice with, the Devil is one of them. They just like to practice with people that are quicker than you just makes you quicker, and they help me with like figuring out how the setups work and just consistency and racing with these guys and practicing with them just makes you quicker. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think in AM2 I never put any time into it, and this year I've put a lot of time into this game. So I think that's just the biggest thing is the practice.
Well, good to know. And since you said that, I guess I probably need to start practicing with y'all. Um,
You're welcome, dude.
but
Okay.
no, once again, congratulations. Like it's been a long time coming. I certainly thought we were here in Australia, but it's it's finally here now. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
well said, Chubb. Congratulations, Potty. Absolutely fantastic evening for you. Getting your first win in contest of speed. Just getting the monkey off the back in general. I know been
Finally.
on your back
I-
since
Stop bothering me.
since Baku last season. I feel like, but
Oh damn, yeah.
yeah, but
Actually, I think it's Entree. That's the problem. Entree always has the announcer's curse with you because he gets to jack in those jaws.
Potty,
You know what I mean?
you'll have to go watch the stream back because I was in the process of saying like I just panned the camera to you and I was saying, no, I don't want to say anything yet, but Potty is doing, and then the safety car came out and I was like, I looked at the map, I seen Red Devil go by, and man, chills ran through my body because I knew that you were gonna have a really good chance of getting the win. I was so excited for you, but yeah. Anyways, I didn't pull off the curse like Entree may have, as Chubb was suggesting. It may just be
Yeah,
Entree, man.
I think it may just be my consistency, but yeah.
Uh,
Well, bad luck to Devil. He's got a string of it. I know
yeah,
how it feels.
yeah,
He'll get back.
definitely.
He'll get
He's
back.
gonna get it back, yeah. Sure. An
Oh
absolute
yeah.
menace on the track. But anyways,
Yeah.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us tonight in the booth, Potty and Red Devil, and from my Tucker. Thank you all for joining us in the stream. We hope you guys enjoyed. This is the end of round 9 now. We're going to be moving on to round 10 next week. Only 3 rounds left to go. Going to be Imola, Las Vegas, and then Abu Dhabi to finish off the season, October 8th to 10th. we're rolling on into season 15 shortly thereafter. Lots of details to come out soon about that. If you're looking for more contest speed action, that'll be next week for Imola, starting with EU3 and AM3 on Tuesday. That's 9 p.m. UK, 4 p.m. Eastern for race, and 9 p.m. AM3. For AM1 action, though, we'll be back next Thursday for Imola, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Thanks for joining us. Peace.